Well, it's 10 o'clock.
Great. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. Good morning, all. Hopefully everybody's having a bright and cheery, sun-filled morning here in northern Ohio. It's about 70 degrees, and it's raining and cold. So it's a little gloomy here, but hopefully we'll shed some light on your day. Today's topic is, when is it the right time? Could go lots of different directions with a topic like that, but what we're going to talk about today is the timing of doing the right things. So let's get started. A little bit different today. Hopefully everybody has a piece of paper and a pen close by. About midway through, we're going to go through a real quick survey, and I want you to ask yourself these questions or answer the survey for yourself. No need to share the results with anybody, but just kind of as a self-reflection, let's look at it that way. So there will be 8 statements that you need to grade yourself on. So let's get started. There are no silver bullets, there's no magic formulas, and there are no miracle cures. And frankly, there are not too many new ideas. Most best practices have been around for a long time. We do know that bad habits, or most bad habits, are developed during good times. It's really easy for us to become complacent when there's plenty of work to do, plenty of work to go around, and the revenue stream just seems to be endless, customer after customer coming in day after day. The opposite is also true. Good habits or practices are usually born in a downturn or a slow time, a time when everyone seems to be struggling to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Think for just a minute, if you will, about your best growth periods. What were you doing then? What was the cause of the growth that you experienced? Maybe you had grown tired of poor performance and poor results. What was the best practice that you put into place? And did you decide that there would be no exceptions to following that practice? Did you enforce the practice with a must-do-it every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions type of attitude? I think you probably did. In good times, it's easy to become or to develop bad habits, and in bad times, you develop good habits. Think about it for a second. Wouldn't it be better if we would enforce good habits in good times? Let's work together for a few minutes and think about 8 practices and ask ourselves how well we are doing on those 8 practices right now. So here's your opportunity to grade yourselves. I'm going to make 8 statements. I would like you to grade yourselves with on a 1 to 5 basis. So a number 1 would be that you're dead, you don't have a pulse or a heartbeat, and you never do any of these things. And number 5 would be that you always do them. So again, 1 through 5, 1 being bad and number 5 being great. The first statement: my techs and advisors do a multi-point inspection on every vehicle. Grade yourself 1 through 5. Number 2, my advisors call every customer to upsell the needed maintenance work suggested by the technicians on the multi-point inspection form. Again, grade yourself 1 through 5. Number 3, my advisors do a walk-around on the drive when the customer arrives. Statement number 4, we pull samples of all underhood fluids and show them to the customer at the time of write-up. Statement number 5, we give a service menu to every customer. Statement number 6, my advisors always conduct an active delivery on every car picked up when the service is completed. Number 7, during the active delivery process, my advisors set the next service appointment. And the last statement, we conduct weekly service sales meetings where we teach technicians and advisors to look for upsell opportunities. Okay, so there's 8 statements. Grade yourself 1 through 5. If you scored a 40, you're probably lying, but maybe not. Maybe you're really great. And if that's the case, I applaud you. Most of us will fall somewhere in the mid-range, and those of us that are doing really well will obviously performed somewhere between mid and a perfect score. Honestly, there wasn't a single one of those 8 items on that little survey that was new. You've heard them all before, or read about them, or maybe you've even used some of them in your dealership at some point in time. Some of these programs, or any one of these programs, can really energize your fixed operations departments and increase your gross. And if you have done these in the past, I think that you would agree that they certainly did. So what happened? Why is it so often that in our business we find a wildly successful program and then we stop doing it? It almost seems silly to say that these are uncertain and turbulent times, but let me remind you that great captains are not made on calm seas. There is strength through struggle. Steel is forged in the fire. A friend of mine recently was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I was amazed in the conversation that I had with him at how calm and determined he was by not only him but his family as well. And his reply to me is, and really, stage 4 cancer, how much worse can you get? And he said to me, hey, look, you don't have a testimony until you first have had a test. Wow. Strong guy. But maybe you're being tested. Maybe you're feeling the squeeze from your dealer to produce more gross. Maybe you're struggling to hold your staff together. There's all kinds of tests that we run into every day. Maybe it's time for you to become a great captain, though. You have the necessary tools to succeed. Or maybe it's time for you to run up the white flag and just give up. If you choose to win, pour your energy into just one of these 8 items on this quiz that we just took, and I promise you that you will see dramatic results. My friends, let it never be said of us that we would give up. We should not ever yield, because we know we can succeed. And it can be a great year if we become a master of the basics. Knowing what to do is not enough. We must do it. And now is the right time to do so. Any comments, questions? Anybody want to share their scores?
The lines are all open, gentlemen.
Always room for improvement.
Looking back at my own personal history in fixed operations, the first time that I went through this test, I said, oh, I know my guys do everything I expect them to do. It's no problem. My staff is well-trained. They have a focus. They share my goals. And then I started watching exactly what they were doing and observed them closely. And I found out that I didn't really have what I anticipated. And in many cases, they were doing most of the things most of the time, or some of the things all the time. But it wasn't a consistent delivery of all the things there. And each one of these items, I know, will have a dramatic income result in the positive direction for your service department. Has anybody ever done one of these things that didn't work in a positive direction? I would guess probably not. The entirety of what we do as service managers, fixed operations directors, parts managers, it all depends on how well we work with our staff, how well we encourage them to know that these are the right things to do and that we must do them every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. Any comments? Okay, sounds like it's going to be a quiet audience today. Mike, you will send everybody a recording?
That's correct.
Okay, great. Well, I thank you all for spending a few moments with us today. I hope that you have a great day and that you close out July with a bang. I hope that you had a safe 4th of July and that you enjoy your summer. Thanks again for listening with us. Have a great day.
Thank you.